guys? Wes Pruitt, 4 Star Sports Media. Welcome to the Sports Buffet. We appreciate everybody sitting down with us today for a plate full of sports, and it's another plate full for you today. We're going to talk Paris Olympics to get started, and then after Paris Olympics, we'll get into WWE Summerslam as it takes place tomorrow night from Cleveland, Ohio. So we will go through our 2024 picks for that. Following that, we'll take a little break. Be joined by Jonathan Sturdivant to get into a little college football as we get into some quarterback battles, talk a little Notre Dame, talk a little Northwestern Wildcats. Just get into it from now to about 9:30, 9:40 this morning. So we appreciate everybody joining us. We appreciate everybody coming in and sitting down. Let's go ahead and get into it, folks. All right, so obviously you've heard us talk about it. It's the SeatGeek promotion that we have here at 4 Star Sports Media, and what that is very simple. You go to SeatGeek. You're looking for a ticket for, and let's say a football game, basketball game, baseball game, Hamilton. You want to go watch Wicked. You want to go to a play. You want to go to a concert. Doesn't matter. Head over to SeatGeek. Create you a login. Once you create that login, you will be able to go in there and find you a ticket. Find you any ticket, $50 or more. Once you do, type in 4 Star Sports Media, like promo code right there on the screen. Once you do, you will save $20 off that ticket purchase of $50 or more. Very, very simple. Very simple, very easy. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start with a burning question, and we will get back into this burning question later in the show. But let's start with the burning question, and it's very simple. Who is the greatest running back of all time? Hello, everyone. Decided I popped the camera on. There you go. Who is the greatest running back, college football running back of all time? We will go over this list at the end. We've compiled a list of 10 each. Question number one. I know this question has kind of been rehashed, not only by us but other people. And there's a lot of different names. There's probably 9, 10 names, in all honesty, that at any given time are going to be mentioned as being on the hot seat in college football. These 4 are fairly prevalent. Fairly the more common names, but Sam Pittman, Billy Napier, Will Hall, who is at Southern Miss, or Dave Aranda, who is at Baylor, who has the hottest seat in college football. And then poll question number 2, a little bit of a different one here, folks, but who will win the GAC? The GAC obviously won a national championship last year in Division II football, as Harding would come out as the national champion. So when you look at it in 2024, our question is, who will win the conference in 2024? Harding, Ouachita Baptist, Henderson State, or SAU or Southern Arkansas? And that's the top 4 projected teams right now. Matter of fact, it's in that order. So yeah, little GAC talk. Don't be shocked if we don't jump into some GAC discussions as well. Here coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The expansion, the growth has just been so much fun. All right, let's get into some Paris Olympics. Just as far as a medal count is concerned, right now China has 12 gold medals, 7 silver, and 7 bronze, for a total of 26 gold medals, or 26 medals. The United States currently sits in second place, and this is going by gold medals, by the way. Tied in second with Great Britain with 9 gold medals. The United States has 9. They have 17 silver. They have 14 bronze for a total of 20. I'm sorry, for a total of 40 medals. And when you look at the medals, 20 of them have come from swimming. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. So, and when you look at women's sports, I mean, I believe more than that. So, very very fun stuff over at the Olympics. I'm sure everyone's been watching. I have. I've been tuning in every day. Thoroughly enjoy it. You can go back and watch it on Peacock as well. It's a lot of fun to watch there as well. We appreciate everybody watching and listening right now over at our social medias. You're just watching a live feed of us recording the podcast. But yeah, a lot of fun at the Olympics. Some very exciting moments. I mean, that, like we talked about Wednesday, that rugby team is so much fun to watch. I would not want to be on that field and try to tackle any of them. None of them. Zero. I mean, we were always taught you can't run without your legs. Well, those women have legs that are tree trunks. Let's just call it what it is, people. And that's nothing against them. They're incredible athletes, and I love watching them play rugby. I really do. It's one of my favorite sports to watch now. That, as we talked about Wednesday, that handball, and a number of others. A lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch. So when you look at the schedule, of course, right now it's roughly, it's around 2 in the afternoon there. But you've got the mixed team semifinal right now going on between United States and Germany. Um, you've got table tennis going on right now. You've got a lot of different matches going on. Football is going on between Morocco and the United States. Morocco is currently leading 1-0. That's the men's quarterfinal. You've got canoe slalom. If y'all haven't watched canoe slalom, you're missing out. That is one of the funnest events to watch. Man, that event is so much fun. But canoe slalom, the women will be back at it today. Fencing is on today too. Fencing's a very interesting sport to watch. Um, and then we would also see Shikari Richardson breeze into the 100-meter semis on her Olympics debut. I mean, that was a lot of fun to watch. That girl is absolutely amazing. Of course, obviously Simone Biles, um, just going. I mean, that girl in the Olympics is just incredible to watch. Her in on that mat is she reminds me a lot of, or Frankie Price reminds me a lot of her. If anyone knows who Frankie Price is, former guest on the show, great young lady who is doing it for her family, 110%. Frankie Price, she's an Arkansas gymnast, but Frankie has done an amazing job, and she reminds me a lot of Simone and how she accentuates herself, things like that, um, on the mat, same as Lauren Williams and others. But a lot of fun. 3-on-3 basketball. I don't know what y'all's take is on that. That's going to be a poll question for next week, by the way. But yeah, Olympics, trampoline gymnastics, water polo is a blast to watch. So yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Handball. If y'all haven't watched handball, you're missing out, man. That it's like I talked about Wednesday. It's really a combination of basketball, football, wrestling, hockey. In all honesty, because you're kind of setting up things. Um, it's an absolute blast to watch. Handball has turned into one of my now favorite sports. I'm now looking up like YouTube videos and going and finding games to watch just because I enjoy watching it. It's a lot of fun to watch. And I'm glad that they're now including it in the Olympics. Like I talked about early in the week, last week, whatever it was, breakdancing. We're 8 days away, folks. Breakdancing it starts August 10th. I can't wait. I'm so excited just to watch how the different countries produce different styles of breakdancing, or the levels of how good they are at the different levels of breakdancing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Breakdancing, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. 8 days away. August 10th it starts. Get ready. Breakdancing is going to be a lot of fun. Um, a lot of fun, man. John Starbut's getting ready to join us here just in a few minutes. We're going to get into some SummerSlam. Going to get into some college football. SummerSlam's tomorrow, folks. If you don't know, now you know. Yeah, SummerSlam is a going to be a lot of fun. When you look at SummerSlam, just to kind of get into it just a little bit, you're looking at nearly 30 years since Cleveland last hosted a SummerSlam, which was 1996. But so we're on the cusp of it. But last time I hosted it was in '96. It was very odd, very much so. But as we know, SummerSlam is the second biggest um, event of the year for WWE. You look at WrestleMania, then you got SummerSlam. Obviously, Royal Rumble is in there as well. But instead of a Big Bad Vader Shawn Michaels, which is what we got in 1996, um, probably going to see Cody versus Solo. I figured you will in that big spot, and I think that sets up for. I mean, obviously we're going to talk about it here in just a few minutes, but I think that sets up the night for some possible returns, for some possible double returns at all. I mean, could very well happen. But I'm very excited about WWE SummerSlam tonight. Obviously, as anyone that knows me knows, I'm a big time wrestling fan. AEW doesn't matter. I go back and watch USWA all the time. Big time wrestling fan, and just kudos, like we talked about Wednesday as well. Just kudos to Triple H and the job he's done, because this will mark the 1 year mark, or this will be the 1 year mark that he has been taking over, creative and running these premium live events, aka pay-per-views. Um, and I understand it. Yes, it is on pay-per-view, but it's really more of a premium. I get it. But um, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's highlighted by Cody Rhodes versus Solo for the WWE Championship. Can Solo, the new face of the Bloodline, can he overtake Cody? Can he do what Roman could not do? And you know what I mean, and overtake Cody. Um, and then obviously the CM Punk Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's some very underrated matches that we talked about earlier this week. I think Gunther and Damian Priest is going to be uh, absolutely amazing. I think it's going to be an incredible match. And then talking about Drew and CM Punk, I think it's going to be one of the hottest, probably non-title matches we've seen in WWE in probably 5-10 years. Yeah, I would say 5-10 years. Um, for sure. But it's SummerSlam's always fun. Always enjoy SummerSlam. You got to take SummerSlam for what it is. It's the second biggest night of the year for WWE, and I don't be surprised. I think it's already been announced, but they're probably going to make it a 2-night event moving forward, which is fine. I get it. I have no problem with a 2-night event for SummerSlam. I have no problem with a 2-night event for WrestleMania. I would rather watch a 2-night event than watch a 8 hour or 9 hour pay-per-view, or sorry, premium live event, um, and just be dog tired, because then you lose the fan by doing that. You lose the fan immediately because the fans wore out. The fans tired. You just have a really huge match, and the fan has to jump up, and you have numerous false finishes and all that. That that wears the fan out. That tires the fan out from a fan perspective. But then you've got ebbs and flows of every single pay per view, um, sorry, premium live event that they have. So I'm really interested to see how the card is put out. I'm really interested to see how the matches are laid out, how what happens. Is the Wyatt Six gonna have a match? Are we just gonna see another Chad Gable come out, and then Wyatt Six come out after that? I mean, I just there's numerous things that Triple H can do, and the rest of the creative team can do. And like I talked about earlier, like we talked about earlier in the week, the way that we've just seen this build up to this moment has been very, very nice. It's been very, very nice to see. It's been fun to see, and it's gonna be fun to see how it continues. Um, you know, as the season progresses. So John Sturdivant should be in here momentarily. Let me see where his goofy guy is here. Where you at? Sports Buffet. It is August 2nd. Wow, August 2nd. We are roughly, man, we are under 30 days from college football starting. That's crazy. That's great. It's this month. This month. It's going to be nuts. We had the Hall of Fame game last night. Full disclosure, I did not watch it. I was at work. And when I got home, I still didn't watch it. But we got preseason football cranking up now, so we will get more into NFL as well. That'll be another big part of the Over Under show, which will be out this Sunday. First episode will run this Sunday. It'll run every Sunday after that. So we're only one show short of having a show a day, 7 shows a week here on the 4-Star Sports Media Network. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we're gonna get into some college football talk as we do some Notre Dame, some Northwestern, and we get into some quarterback battles as well, right here on the Sports Buffet on the 4-Star Sports Radio Network. Be right back. Welcome back, folks. All right, so let's go through some match by match. And when John gets in here, he'll give his predictions too. But let's go match by match. Let's start with the World Heavyweight Championship match between Gunther and Damian Priest, which is the champion. I think this is going to be an incredible match. I think this is also going to be a match where we see that the WWE does have a lot of faith in Gunther to be that guy, to be the man, the heavyweight champion. But we saw with his run, I mean, he's the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. Um, when you look at his longevity, for sure greatest of all time. So I think Drew. I mean, I think Damian Priest takes this match. I know John also thinks Damian Priest takes this match as well. Up next is a match that I think is going to be really exciting to watch. And I'm just kind of running through these before we get John on. Um, Matter of fact, let me pull his picks up so I know that I'm saying it right. Doo-doo-doo. Here we go. Up next, we got LA Knight, versus Logan Paul. I think this is going to be an exciting match. I think this is going to be Logan Paul is an incredible athlete. I take nothing against him, but let's just call a spade here. It's time to put the title on LA Knight. It's time to get him his rocket. Put the title on him. Let him be a mid card champion. That's nothing against that. I just don't like that phrase really, but let him be a champion. Let him be a champion. Let him have a belt. The United States Championship is a extremely prestigious belt, and it's a sign that they want LA Knight to make that jump, possibly to the Intercontinental. And I honestly believe you could put the world title on LA Knight in time, but you put SmackDown, LA Knight's on SmackDown. Everyone loves him. Um, it also boosts SmackDown a little bit more. You put the title on him, you bring him out to an already big crowd pop. Now you put that on the shoulder, and it just solidifies LA Knight just a smidge more. And I think it's honestly past time. I think we could have already seen it. Let's go up next. We go Nia Jax versus Bayley, which is the champion for the WWE Championship. It's obvious to me. It's obvious to me what's happening here. And when John comes on, I'm sure he'll let me know as well. But oh, by the way, John had Damian losing. By the way, John had Damian losing. Now that I look at my notes, um, yeah. So I this is what I think's happening. Obviously, we saw Tiffy time get Money in the Bank. So I think obviously what's happening here is I think Nia Jax wins, and I think Tiffany cashes in just to give away a surprise. I think we see Tiffany Stratton cash in at SummerSlam. I think the writers are pretty well telling you it's what they're going to do. Um, and if not, then hey, you can go back. We'll go back Monday, and I'll be like, hey guys, sorry I was wrong. Triple H, you got me, sir. All right, let's see up next. Oh, for those of you listening, I predicted that Braun Breaker would defeat Sami Zayn at the last pay per view. As y'all know, I was not correct. I was wrong. And Sami won, but I don't think it happens this time. Braun Breaker gets his moment at the second biggest summer or pay per view of the year. And I don't think you can let him lose twice to Sami. Nothing against Sami Zayn. The crowd's going to go nuts if he doesn't win. Period. They're going to go nuts. Secondly, and more importantly, I think this sets up storyline for other ways because I think we're obviously setting up in time. Could it be SummerSlam? I don't know. We'll get to that in a minute. But we're setting up in time for a Bloodline Civil War, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I think that's where Sami can be inserted back into storyline with the Bloodline. All right, up next we've got the revenge match, and that's Rhea Ripley versus Psycho Liv Morgan. Like we talked about, um, yeah, crazy stuff. But if you remember on the show, I mentioned specifically that we can't forget about Finn Balor in this whole thing, right? I think this is where all that stuff right there. I think it's where it all comes to roost. Tomorrow, I think Finn Balor is going to turn on Rhea Ripley, help Liv Morgan, him and Liv, tiptoe through the tulips together. and then you see both heels, by the way, and then you see Rhea and Dom. I don't know how you're gonna make Death Row Dom a face, but here we are. I think it's gonna happen. I think you're gonna see, you know, Death Row Teardrop Dom and his all black wearing mommy become faces in WWE. It's gonna be odd. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be very interesting to watch too. So, and then I mean, you got the final two. Uh, I don't know which one I want to go with. All right, let's start with CM Punk. All right, so let's start with CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins is the referee, as we all know. Like I said earlier, I think this is probably one of the hottest non-title matches in WWE and feuds for that matter in WWE for a very long time. Very long time. And I think we're setting up for probably a triple threat match, I would assume, for WrestleMania between these three. Um, this match is going to be physical. There's going to be blood. I'm just going to be honest with you. You're going to see blood between these two. Um, these two guys hate each other. There's real life hostility for sure between these two. Um, and let's also, I'll get to that in a minute. But I think CM Punk wins. I think it's CM Punk's first televised match win since he's been back to WWE. Because he was hurt at Royal Rumble. Just this will be his first. He hasn't won a televised match since he's been back. So I think you get that going, and you get the fans right back in his corner, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I just don't know. I just hadn't figured out how it happens. I think CM Punk wins. I think it's another Seth has a chance to win, and then Drew has a chance to win, and then Seth screws him. But I don't know how. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. So up next, last one. Hold on. All right. So John had Braun winning, Bailey winning, LA Knight winning, Gunther winning, Drew wins in a 25-minute match. Wow. Liv wins because of Dom. So we're on the same page there, just with different people. And then the last one is this: Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And it's real simple. John says Cody wins because Cody wins because Roman comes back. All right, I think Cody wins. I think we see The Rock show up, and then at the very end, very, very like the little WWE thing pops up, and I'm not looking at the screen now, but the little WWE thing pops up at the corner of the screen, and then Roman Reigns. No, I don't even think it's Roman Reigns music hits. I think Paul Heyman comes out, and then Roman comes out. And I think that sets up what we will see as I honestly hope they do it in a War Games scenario where it's 2 rings, 1 cage, Bloodline Civil War. That's what personally I would like to see. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think tomorrow night's gonna be a blast to watch. All right, let's go ahead and get Jonathan started in here. We got about a half hour, which is plenty of time, really. Plenty of time. All right, you ready? Here we go. All right. Oh,
What's up, my
all right.
friend?
I got John started. What's going on, man? All right, let's start real quickly with
Yeah.
just a couple. Not going to take long. Just a couple of quarterback battles around the country that I found very, very interesting. All right, let's start with number 1, man, and that is Nebraska. So when you look at Nebraska, we've talked about Matt
hmm
Rule. I think Matt Rule is going to be an incredible, incredible football coach this season again for Nebraska. But when you look at Nebraska, One of the biggest offseason wins for them was when we saw them flip a Georgia commit and five-star quarterback Dylan Raiola just a few days before signing day. The 6'3", 220-pounder. He is royalty, as his dad, Dominic, was a All-American offensive lineman, and also his uncle, Donovan, was also an offensive lineman for the Huskers. So a little bit of family history there. But he's entering a quarterback battle where there's some experience because you got Harburg, who was there last year. He had some success there last year. He's also the team's leading rusher with 477 yards and 5 touchdowns. He did have a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, 49% completion. But I think, as we know, Matt Rule likes more than that, right?
Mhm.
So, man, I really think these two guys, and that's Heinrich Harburg and Dylan Raiola. I think this is going to be a battle to watch. I haven't really done. I've looked into it, but not just really. I haven't like reached out to anybody, anything like that. To really get an update on what is going on now that camp's going on. I know camps are just starting. But them, man, USC's another one with Miller Moss and Jaden Mayave. Washington is one I think you definitely got to watch. I really expected Will Rogers to leave once Kellen DeBoer went to Alabama. Honestly, when it first happened, and my immediate thought was, golly, Will Rogers is about to go to Alabama. But he didn't. He stayed at Washington. Kudos to Will, honestly.
Mhm.
But he's in a battle with Demarcus Davis, and Desmond Williams Jr. Of course, we know Michael Penix Jr. was the man. Um, it was very odd too, man, to see the national championship game and Will Rogers standing there. I don't know. It was just kind of odd. It was just kind of odd. But anyway, man, um, John, I, I want to let you start, man, because this is the team that is very interesting to me, and I'm very, very interested to get your thoughts on what you think about the Northwestern Wildcats.
Well, we did a great job on naming those three schools right off the bat, real quick, because I had Nebraska in the back of my mind. Because looking at some reports this week, Patrick Mahomes is back in college. Everybody's saying Patrick Mahomes is back in college. Does look alike for the Nebraska quarterback. But yeah, Northwestern, they're going to be an interesting team in that Big Ten just because, Coach Fitzgerald ain't there no more. It's their second year under their new coach. They went 8-5 last year, and a lot of people might have them winning 7 or 8 games again this year. And I think right now that it is a good winning spot for the Northwestern Wildcats, especially in the future. They're getting a new stadium and everything like that as well. So the future does look bright, especially when you're starting fresh under the coach they got right now. I forgot his name on top of my head. But yeah, looks like a good start and a good start fresh. Second year under a new coaching staff.
Yeah, David Braun comes over from North Dakota State. He was their previous defensive coordinator from 2019 to 2020, and he was also the FCS Coordinator of the Year. He was named interim head coach, and then and then obviously permanent head coach. The new OC is going to be Zach Lujan. He was the FCS Coordinator of the Year in 23 and the offensive coordinator the last 2 years with South Dakota State. The first year defensive coordinator is Tim McGargle, who has been linebackers coach at Northwestern since 2018. So a little bit of continuity there as you bring in you just upgrade the linebacker coach to defensive coordinator. But I mean, when you look at this team, eight, like you said, John, 8-5, seven offensive starters returning, eight defensive starters. They got 4 straight weeks and then a bye. You start off with Miami, Ohio, then Duke, then Eastern Illinois, and then at Washington. I mean, I think when you look at this team, 8-5, I think is probably going to be their ceiling again, honestly. Um, and then I think you're looking at 7-8 wins for the year for this team. It's probably about where it's going to be for Northwestern, and that's no disrespect. I mean, when you look at Northwestern, from a historical standpoint, I mean, uh, you know, that they haven't been horrible. I mean, they weren't great when the previous coach took over. but I mean, he did have them. You know, he had them rolling there for a while.
Yeah, Northwestern could get like an Outback Bowl bid down in Tampa or the Citrus Bowl down in Orlando. 7 to 8 wins is the goal this year. Again, like I mentioned, the game that kind of entertains me the most, where it could be depending on how their schedule goes the rest of the way. This is the game at Maryland because Maryland is always tough at home.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. All right, let's go to a team that I'm very intrigued about because I just think this team can definitely make some noise, not only around the country but also in the college football playoff, possibly. And that's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Of course, we know Marcus Freeman is there. Marcus Freeman does an incredible job as a head coach. I think this team is going to be very fun to watch. I also find it very funny that in their opening game against Texas A&M, you've got Riley Leonard, former Duke quarterback, who is now with Notre Dame because no one stays anywhere anymore. But and what are the odds that Mike Elko used to coach him? So they obviously brought this up at SEC Media Days, also at the ACC kickoff, or I'm sorry, also at the Notre Dame Media Day thing they did, and both of them said they kind of joked about it and was like, hey, we need to come up with a standardized statement between both of us so that we can answer this question all off season. Haha, funny, funny. Um, but I That's going to be a very interesting game, man. I think Notre Dame and Texas A&M to open the season is an absolute classic. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by either team. I think it's going to be a really close game, to be honest with you. I think Notre Dame wins. I mean, I think when you look at this team, you look at who they've got offensively. Obviously, we know this team's built in the trenches. Always has been. Always will be. You look at offensive line. This team's always going to be powerful. They're always going to be able to move. They're always going to have really good agility. But when you look at this team offensively, think back, John. Jerome Bettis. You know what I mean? Other talented running backs, and they've got one talented right now too.
Yeah, like you brought up, the game against A&M is a tough one to start out at. But with the beginning afternoon game is where I kind of give the edge to Notre Dame because it's not a morning game, 11 a.m. or like a 7 p.m. or 8 o'clock game even down in College Station where, yeah, you're still going to have the 102,000 or whatever, and you're probably going to still battle the 100-degree heat index on the field and whatnot. But right now I'm giving the edge to Notre Dame just because of the time slot of the game, and I'm also giving it to Notre Dame because Coach Freeman always coaches defense good at start the year for the Fighting Irish from the Cincinnati days as well. So I'll give Notre Dame a win there.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think when you look at this team, I think Notre Dame's sitting around 9 wins. Like I said, 9, 10 wins. I think they can make the playoff. We talked to Ben Chase about it too, and he even brought them up. I think they can make the playoff. I think they can make some noise. Defensively, we know they're going to be good. Offensively, they generally have a pretty high-powered offense. We saw it last year with Sam Hartman. And I think we see it again this year with Riley Leonard. But yeah, give me 9 wins, man. 10 wins for Notre Dame. What about you?
All right, so who do you have their losses against on top of your head?
Man, off the top of my head, I can't even remember who I had them losing to. Hold on, let me go back and look.
Well, I'll give you the schedule breakdown if you need me to. You got them beating A&M.
Yep.
You got them beating Northern Illinois.
Yep.
At Purdue.
That's a loss.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Miami, Ohio.
Yep. Win.
Louisville.
Win.
Stanford.
Win.
Georgia Tech and Mercedes Benz.
Doesn't matter where they play. Win.
Navy.
Win.
Florida State.
Give me a win.
Virginia.
Win.
West Point, Army.
Loss.
So that game is being played in the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the Army, West Point beating Notre Dame. That's an interesting game.
Yep.
Right before at Notre Dame, or not at Notre Dame, but at Southern Cal, the end of the year.
W.
So I will go different. I got them winning 10 games. I get them losing to Florida State, and I get them losing to Southern Cal at the end of the year, going 10-2.
Okay.
I think the depending on who's the quarterback at Florida State, I think Florida State
Oh,
needs.
it's gonna be DJ Uyunglele. I can tell
I'm
you that
talking
right
about.
now.
I'm talking about in general, like if injuries happen or anything like that,
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you.
whatnot. That's the reason I'll give Florida State right now the edge. And of course,
Yep.
somehow Norvell's got Freeman's number as well. So
True. All right, man. It's time, John. Y'all know how we do these daggum lists, and we love them. So it's time again. So it's list time. Y'all know how generally we do it. So if it's a list of 5, I will go and compile a list of 20, then 10, then 5. So this week's a list of 10. So I did 30, 20, 10. Um, a lot of fun. I really had to sit back and think. First off, let me just say this. Somebody's gonna get mad at these lists. It's not that serious.
it's for
It's
fun.
not. It's just for fun. It's not that serious. Okay. This is my personal list. So if it makes you mad, I'm sorry, I guess, but not really because it's just a fun list. So let's not be let's just not be like that. That's kind of crappy. All right, man. You go first, John.
This is what we'll do. We'll do 10-5, and then we'll do 10-5 together, and then we'll do 5-1 right after that. How's that sound?
Okay, that'll work. That'll work.
All right. First of all, we're gonna do the honorable mentions. I gave it to Ron Dane from Wisconsin, and then Darren McFadden from Arkansas as my honorable mentions. Ron Dane was
My
just hard.
my
Yeah,
oh good.
Ron Dane was just it's hard to. I know he was a beast at running back, but it's actually hard to see or hard to remember how many yards he averaged per game. Whatnot back in the day. So that those my honorable mentions right there.
I had like 6 honorable mentions, but I was do 2. Yeah, it's crazy.
You name all six.
Uh,
That's fine, real quick.
no,
You
no,
got
no, 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 no,
okay.
no, no, no. No, one of them was Ladainian Tomlinson. It's a guy that I mean, obviously we grew up watching him at TCU.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible running back. Incredibly smooth. Had the agility, but also had the speed to leave you. A lot of fun to watch, man. And then my other one was Rondane. Man, that guy, I can remember like it was yesterday, watching him just run people over for the record. So much fun to watch, man. I was never a big guy, and that God, it was so much fun. And then you turn around and at that time you had Nintendo 64 was out, so you had Ron Dane in the Madden 64 game, stuff like that, man. So it was
Mm-hmm.
fun to it's fun to go play as him too. So yeah, Ron Dane for sure. Uh, Definitely honorable mention. And it was tough not to put him
Yeah.
on my list, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same here. My number 10 spot, I'm gonna go with Cadillac Williams from Auburn. Who's your number 10?
It's a Williams. I went with D'Angelo Williams from Memphis.
All right. Number 9, I got Adrian Foster from Tennessee, former Texan.
Number 9, I've got the legendary Jim Brown.
I think you remember that when you were like 4.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I remember
Oh,
him. I went through the top 10 in my head of all time. No, hell no, I don't remember that man.
you gotta remember.
Number 8, true. Number 8, I've got it's Doak Walker. It's the award's named after the man. He's an incredible running back down at Florida State. But I got number 8 at Doak Walker. What about you?
Number 8, I got Saquon Barkley from Penn State.
Okay, nice. Number 7, I've got the great Bo Jackson.
All right. Number 7, I got the whole Alabama running back crew with Trent Richardson, Mark Ingram, and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that was sick. Yeah, you're right. Number 6, I've got Darren McFadden.
All right. Number 6, I got Nick Chubb from Georgia.
Okay. Number 5, I've got, Archie Griffin. If you don't know who he is, then just please use Google. It should be a very easy answer.
Number 5, I got good old LaDainian Thomas, and I put him out there because the Conference USA days with TCU and that brawl at the end.
Oh yeah, 100%. Number 4, I've got OJ Simpson.
All right, number 4, I got Maurice Claret from Ohio State.
Okay. Number 3, I've got Reggie Bush.
All right, number 3, I got Christian McCaffrey from Stanford.
Okay. Number 2, I've got Ricky Williams, running
All
back
right,
from Texas. Not to confuse that with anybody else.
yeah. Man, number 2, I put D'Angelo because he is in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And he did pass that all. Does he still get that lead, by the way, in the all career total yards department over 6,000? Or did somebody pass him by now?
I'll have to go look. I'm not
Yeah,
100% sure.
I put D'Angelo at 2.
Okay. Number 1, I have Herschel Walker. I think he's the greatest running back of all time. In my opinion, I think he's the greatest running back of all time, and I'm sure many people will argue, and that's fine. I think he's the greatest running back of all time. Of course, I didn't watch him. I wasn't around, but I've gone back and looked at stats. I've gone back and watched, game tape, stuff like that. What he did at Georgia was just amazing. I just absolutely incredible. What about you, man?
So my number 1 spot, I ended up putting Reggie Bush. He got his Heisman Trophy back.
Yeah, Reggie was electrifying. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's a lot of people, and I totally understand the argument for Darren McFadden should have won the Heisman over Reggie, but that's tough, man, because Reggie was, God, he was exciting to watch. He just did. As was Darren. Now, let's not take anything away from Darren McFadden. Watching him completely leave LSU and the entire defense in Little Rock that day. Was that 2000? What is
5 or 6.
7, 5, 6? Yeah. Man, I will never forget that in my entire life. It was things. He left them there. Like, he literally. I think the famous quote is, LSU. You can look at his shoe bottoms because he's gone. Um, yeah, man. But like I said, Reggie Bush he was exciting. I I just don't think you can top Herschel Walker. In my opinion. And of course, there's some, I'm sure, new age guys that'll be like, "Oh, you're crazy. You're nuts." Well, that's fine. Call me what you want. Um, John, over
Well,
under is going to be out. Over under is going to be out Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of games. Going to be talking some different things over under, right? So really, when you look at over under, it can be for anything. So we're going to look at some certain scenarios as far as, how many coaches could be fired throughout the year, how many players will enter the portal. You brought that up Wednesday.
mhm.
We're going to look at over under how many players are in the portal. We're going to look at over under wins for teams, losses for teams, things of that nature. And I've got a list of probably 30 different things that I may talk about on that show Sunday, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So that'll be the Sunday show. So we're just, like I said, just one or two shows away from having a show a day on the network, which has been the ultimate goal for a long time. So we appreciate everybody with the support. Looking at the numbers, in the last month, we've reached roughly 220,000 people. So we appreciate that. We appreciate all the numbers, and that's through our social media and through our website at fourstar.live. So you want to head over there, you can. Great content over there. We got articles, we got podcasts, we've got everything. Everything's over there. You can go watch us on YouTube over there. If you scroll to the bottom, you can watch us on YouTube. If you scroll to the bottom, you can also go through, and it's got a list of all of our things, all of our different shows, things that you can just go click on that, and it'll take it straight to that page. Each show has its own page, so it makes it easy for you guys to maneuver. John, good stuff, man. Appreciate you coming on with me today. And also, John, do you need tickets for anything, man? Like, are you going to a football game? You going to a basketball game? You going to a play? Hey, maybe you want to go see Wicked or something. If you do, we got you covered, man. You can go to SeatGeek, create you an account. When you create that account, go write the password down because I know how you are. You're just like me. You can't remember passwords. So write that, but get your notebook out. Write SeatGeek top of the page. Write the password down. Write your email address so you know which one you used. And then once you do, go find any ticket, $50 or more. Trust me, folks, that's not going to be hard to do. It's not going to be hard to find a ticket, $50 or more. Once you find that ticket, see that little thing down at the bottom of the screen that says SeatGeek promo code right there? Type that in, 4 Star Sports Media. When you do, it'll save you $20. $20. It'll save it. Promise you. If you don't believe us, try it. You're going to be happy. You're going to be happy. So, but that'll save you $20 off your first ticket purchase. And we've got more coming up for you as well. We're in conversation with 4 different places right now to bring you more promo codes to save you money on your purchases. That's what we do here at 4 Star Sports Media. We bring you consistent, professional, genuine sports coverage, no hot takes, stat driven, and we're also here to help you. It's a win-win situation, John. That's all I got to say.
Well, I
All right,
appreciate.
John. Let's go
I
through real
was gonna
quick.
say I appreciate everybody listening today too, because
Go ahead.
there is some interesting baseball games out there this weekend. So I was glad to see you plug that in, because there is Cardinals
Yep.
Cubs out there. There's Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw's back, so that's
Yeah.
a good signing for the Dodgers. But he got his first loss the other day. But go ahead.
No, you're good, man. So let's run through the poll questions real quick. I'll get your opinion on these. So, who has the
Ooh.
hottest seat, whatever, in college football? Sam Pittman at Arkansas, Billy Napier at Florida, Will Hall at Southern Miss, or Dave Aranda at Baylor?
Tied for first. Will Hall, Dave Aranda.
You know what? I agree. I agree. All right. Second one
The
is
reason I'm
go
saying
ahead.
that Dave Aranda's got to win 7 games to save his job, and right now they got him over and under at 4.5 or 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. All right. I'm sure you're familiar with the Great American Conference, which is
Oh,
what Houston Harding came from last year when they won the national championship, first national championship for a football team in the state of Arkansas. So we just might be doing a little expansion and branching out to a little more of a GAC, Ouachita Baptist, Harding, Henderson State, Monticello, all them boys. Plus, there's a lot of Oklahoma teams. So, might be a little bit of expansion coming. There is actually. Um, so, here's my question: who will win the GAC in 2024? Will it be the defending national champion, Wishbone running, Harding Bison, or will it
at the line.
be yeah, exactly. It's a send to punt. Um, And then that's don't get on to me. That's a sign that somebody had at the national championship game. I read the sign. Or will it be the Phil Knight led, not Phil Knight, led yeah, it is Phil Knight, Coach Knight, led Ouachita Baptist Tigers, powerhouse in that division and that conference, that everything. Um, or will it be their neighbors that are 0.08 miles away from them? They're literally right across the street, and that's the Henderson State Billies.
Give me the Bisons.
Huh?
Give me the Bisons. The 500-yard running it
Really?
back. They're going back to back. It's just
You think
so hard.
so?
It's just so hard to prepare for that wishbone.
It is, but if you know you're playing, but if you know Harding's in these teams' cases, Harding's on their schedule every year, right? So you have to. That's a part of your defensive strategy every year. It's going to have to be, I would think, right? I mean, it's like if you're playing Army or Air Force or you know what I mean, like one of those teams. Like you're going to have to implement some type of preseason scheme to prepare yourself every single week No matter if you're playing them or not, you're gonna have to do something to get your mind because it's all mental. It's all just it's hat on hat defense. So I mean, you gotta prepare yourself all year. I agree. It's very hard to prepare for. Trust me. I ran it in high school. You know that. Um, man, I don't know, man. I just feel like and I could be completely wrong here. Um, I feel like a Henderson State or a South Arkansas. Like I feel like it's gonna be like I mean, yes, Harding's good. Yes, Ouachita's good. I'm not taking anything from those programs. I'm not trashing them at all. I just feel like in 2024 it's going to be a Henderson State or a South Arkansas or maybe a Southeast Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Just some different team I think is going to make a run, and I also think they're going to get some help. Late in the season you may have a three-way tie for first place between South Arkansas, Harding, and Henderson. And then Ouachita knocks off. You know what I mean? Like I think this conference is going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it's a really an unknown conference of some, no pun intended, but some great football teams and great athletic teams. So
Mhm.
the GAC is definitely one to not sleep on for sure. But John, I appreciate you coming on with me, man. Like I said, we will have the buffet will be back obviously Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We will also have a Tigers Den Wednesday night. We will also have Arkansas Hockey Club on Tuesday night, or Ice Hogs podcast on Tuesday night, and then we'll have the boys are back on Thursday night to talk Arkansas Razorbacks with the Hogs happy hour. So that'd be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. If I'm off Saturday, I might just jump on Saturday and just jump back in. Very excited about college football. Very excited about everything that we have going on here at Four Star Sports Media. If you don't know, now you know. Pay attention, folks. We keep you covered on multiple fronts. We talk NBA, we talk NHL, Conference USA, American, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac 2, Mountain West, GAC. We talked about UT Martin earlier this year. We went over the Ohio Valley and the Big South. When we say it's a plate full of sports on the sports buffet, folks, we're not playing. You get a little bit of everything, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Nobody wants to listen. You know what I mean? Like people want a wide range of sports coverage. That's what we do here at Four Star Sports Media. But thank you to everybody watching and listening. If you enjoy the show, please feel free to like, share, follow, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your pets. Maybe your pets want to listen. They can listen too. It's fine. Tell anyone who wants to listen. Give us a listen. Give us a like. Give us a share. If you enjoy the content on our website, also feel free to share it as well. Hey, if you want to go to the website and find out some information about the Arkansas Hockey Club that not a lot of people know, head there now. We got an Arkansas podcast and we got an article as well with a little more detail off of that podcast that we just did with the head coach of the D2 team, which is Keller Sims. But there's also a D3 team. And if de facto, by the way, there's probably going to be a women's hockey team too. So get ready for more Arkansas hockey coverage right here at Four Star Sports Media. But thank you to everybody watching and listening. We appreciate you as always. And
Hang
folks,
on. One
just be
more
kind.
thing, real quick, to our
Oh,
fans.
we
Something
got
real
to
quick. Breaking news. No, okay.
go ahead.
Blake and Ashton, if you're listening right now, have a safe school year. To all the teachers out there, school is starting next week
Yeah.
for a lot of people. So stay hydrated if you're playing sports. And then also to all the coaches that are teachers also, thank you for everything that you do for sports in general.
Yeah, man. Both Blake and Coach Willie both teach it up and coach it up there for Benton and Monticello Middle School. So, and also shout out my wife for all she does for the kids, man, for the kids. But we appreciate you guys. And as always, like I said, guys, just stay classy. It's the best way to be. Have a good weekend. Be safe, folks.